Excuse me, could you point me in the direction of ScreamCity? Never mind, I think I found it.
Hello, horror freaks. Welcome back to ScreamCity. I'm your host, Jess.
And I'm Monica. And in today's episode, we will be discussing a Stephen King classic, Misery, from 1990.
I'm your number one fan. There is nothing to worry about. You're gonna be just fine. I'll take good care of you. I'm your number one fan.
That's terrifying.
Me, if I ever met
Harry Styles?
Harry Styles. 100%. 100%.
It's going to sound distorted at first.
Yeah,
and
because
then,
I hit him in the head.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Waking up in like your room or your basement.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
100%.
Anyway, before we move along with the movie, I think it's time to get life stuff out of the way. It's
That
been
life
about a
stuff-
week
Yeah, that life
since
stuff
we've
is
seen
hard.
each other.
Mhm.
So Monica, any jump scares this past couple of days?
I did have one. It's a little personal.
Oh,
I'll just keep it at that.
okay. Tell me after we record.
Absolutely, absolutely. Every time. It's nothing crazy. It's just something, my aunt comes to visit once in a while. Yeah. And let me tell you, spooked. But I don't know. Other than that, nothing too crazy. Life is just slowly going up.
All right, we on the come up.
We're on the come up.
Hey,
We were literally just talking about this.
yeah.
It's crazy. But no, nothing crazy. What about you? Life spooks happening?
No, no.
We gotta think real hard because
Yeah.
also time. What is it like?
Spell on you. Great song.
Time. I forget what the
Oh,
phrase is.
Okay, I guess my jump scare is that January
Sure.
has lasted 7 months. Do you feel like that
actually,
too?
That's actually so true. I feel like January dragged
Always.
out a lot this month or like this year, if that makes
I
sense.
feel like every year January is always the longest month.
Yeah, I believe that because I actually like I was I tell people like, oh my gosh, we're already going to be in February, but for me, I'm like, finally, we're about to hit another month.
Oh, 100%. Because I'm like, what do you mean I went on my trip this month? Like
That's
that felt like
true.
that was 2 months ago.
That's true, 100%.
So weird. Anyway,
But that's fun.
yeah.
Yeah, January was a little scary.
Nothing too crazy.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna go ahead and move on. So like we mentioned in literally every episode that we have before, guess what?
What?
We're gonna have spoilers. So don't say we didn't tell you.
Period.
But yes, okay. So I'm to give a brief synopsis on the movie. So after a famous author is rescued from a car crash by a fan of his novels, he comes to realize that the care he is receiving is only the beginning of a nightmare of captivity and abuse.
You hear that, Harry Styles? I'm just kidding. I don't want a
This
restraining
movie-
order.
Already, and you haven't even met him.
I know.
I wonder how often, or if that happens. Like, how often do celebrities just go ahead and put a restraining order on something they've never actually met?
I mean, now that we're on the topic of Harry Styles.
Okay.
The girl who wrote After, I'm pretty sure, like, Harry Styles. I
that's
could be
right,
wrong,
because it's a Harry Styles fanfic.
but I'm 97% sure that he put a restraining order on her.
Eh?
But I also could be wrong, so don't, like, quote me
Do
on
not
that.
quote me.
But yeah,
Okay.
now that we're on the topic of Harry Styles.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling that we're going to be on the topic of Harry Styles.
I
this
mean,
episode.
we could always switch celebrities.
Okay.
You know me.
That's true. We have plenty to go through. We have
Right.
a roster.
We do have a roster.
Okay, perfect. I love
All
that.
right. Well, now that we have that out of the way, Monica.
Me.
What are your big three for this movie? Your first impression, your favorite scare, and your favorite scene.
Perfect. So my first impression, I actually remember where I was when I watched this movie for the first
I
time.
don't believe you.
I trust me, I didn't believe myself, but I actually do remember. So I actually watched this movie for the first time on my laptop at night when I was, I think, like in middle school. So this was around the time when I was really using like movies and music as like my muse, for
An
someone who was like
a form
in
of
their
escapism.
Oh, absolutely.
Same.
I was pulling all-nighters watching every damn movie I could find on Netflix and on any streaming service I could find. Bootleg.
Girl, 1, 2, 3 movies.
Absolutely.
R.I.P.
R-
Bro, I watched an amazing.
R.I.P. and R.I.P. to my laptop that I watched it on because they had hella viruses.
Oh,
Hella viruses.
Okay. I watched a great Brazilian movie, in Portuguese, Port of Geese.
Port of geese. Geese of port.
No idea what it's called, but I watched it all in Portuguese, and I understood everything.
I love that.
And I don't remember what it's called.
Oh,
but
okay.
1, 2, 3 movies. That's where it's at.
1, 2, 3 movies is where it's at if you can find it. But yeah, so I was really in a time where I was just watching every movie and like pulling all-nighters of all sorts. And so I was really using it as an escape at the time. And this was one of the movies that I remember watching in the middle of the night. And I remember really liking this movie and making it my entire personality for a total of 2 weeks.
Oh.
Girl, I went to school, started telling everyone about it. I was like, y'all don't know Stephen King.
You don't know Stephen King like I do.
Yeah, y'all don't know
We're
him.
besties.
Yeah, we're like this. That's
Yeah.
my
my boo. That's my Pookie.
that's my Pookie butt. But then I completely forgot about it after that because I moved on to the next thing.
Right.
So, and I never really watched it after that. Completely left my mind, left my noggin. But I watched it just last night, and let me tell you something. Just as good. This is also the movie that put me on Kathy Bates. Well, kind of the second movie, because the first movie I've ever seen her in was Annie, the remake. She does really good playing a bitch. And I loved her in that. And then I remember seeing her again in this, which she's younger because it's an older movie. And I loved it. And I loved Kathy Bates ever since then. I just love
She's amazing.
I
And
love
we have
her.
a fun fact about her.
We do. We'll have one.
We'll
And it's
have one.
actually kind of true. Because, like, this is part of the internet that, like, I kind of believe.
Wait, which one?
It pops up. I don't know. It was... So I watched the movie on Prime. Prime Movies. I bought
Not
it.
sponsored.
Not sponsored.
Yeah.
I bought it off Amazon Prime, and I bought it because it was like $5. First of all, it said it was like $15, but then it like slashed it out, and I was like, it's actually $5, and I said bye. Also because it didn't give me an option to rent.
Oh.
But anyway, and so whenever you're watching the movie on like I guess Prime Movie or something, facts and the person who pops up on the screen actually tells you in the corner who the actor or actress is. Okay, so it also comes up with facts. And this was one of the ones that I saw and I said, ooh, adding. So this is kind of the only one we have.
Slay. It's fine.
Slay.
That's fine.
Okay. So now getting into the movie. So for my favorite scene, so I think my favorite scene that we get is actually the first scene that we get of Annie just going off on Paul. So she finishes the novel, and she comes into his room in the middle of the night, and he's like sleeping. And what I really so she just goes off on him because he like killed off her favorite character, which honestly, same. If I had my favorite author just chilling in my bedroom, I read a novel and I said, the fuck you mean?
Like, what do you mean?
Like, what do you mean they
Fred
died?
Weasley dies.
Like, are you now going to write, some like fantasy type shit where you bring them back?
Right.
Or what's happening? Because I know you did not just kill them off. So she's all mad and she goes into his room, starts like going off on him, like fucking shaking his bed. You dirty bird. Such a good scene. And what I think I really loved about the scene, like as a scene overall, like it's a cinematic masterpiece in my eyes. I love how in the beginning parts of the film, we get her as this sweet, innocent, very like low tone type of like sweetheart. And she gives like innocent criticism. She's very like, oh, well, I don't like the swearing, Paul. And, like this, that. She's a very Christian woman. But then like she just begins to start yelling. And the background music just slowly begins to rise too while she's going off on him. And then she just keeps going. And the music also keeps getting louder. And it creates this suspense. And it's like showing her true colors of how she could be. And it's just so good. And then I think this, like, I don't know, it's just overall super good scene. I loved it so much. I love like how we got introduced Annie. Because we get her at the beginning, but
Right.
girl, we get her
But we
in this
get-
scene.
We get
Yes, ma'am.
Capital A,
Absolutely.
capital N.
W, capital W. Okay.
All right.
And then my favorite scare is the scene where, or wait,
Yeah, I think
I'm confusing my scenes.
so. Okay, long story short, the scene that she just said was actually her favorite scare, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually. Okay.
That's fine.
So then, okay, no. Okay. Pause. Rewind. Okay. So starting over. My favorite scene is when she's actually giving him criticism for the first time, which is when she's feeding him soup.
Okay, right.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so
And,
she's
like,
feeding him soup. She starts off very like, I don't like the swearing, Paul.
Right.
You don't need it. And then from there, she starts escalating.
Right.
And then from there, she, like the camera gets closer to her every time. And I noticed it like throughout the film. The camera gets closer to her as she starts yelling, but it comes kind of from like underneath, and it just kind of gets really up and personal, and it's scary. But anyway, so yeah, my favorite scene is that first scene that she basically goes off on him for criticizing his novel on like, you don't need to be swearing, all that stuff. And I like it, but for the same reasons. We get her in her true form, if that makes sense. So that's still the first scene that we get of Annie, like, fuck you, Paul, but I love you, you know? So that's still my favorite scene. But she's like feeding him soup, you know?
Right.
But my favorite scene is, yes, the scene where she enters his room and she's like, you dirty bird. And what I loved about that scene and what spooked me is one, because I was watching it at night, lights off, no one's home. And I pictured her walking into the room the same way. And let me tell you, scary. But what I also really, really loved about it was the minimal lighting that we get. And the only lighting that we get during the scene, it comes from the window. And it's so eerie and it's so creepy. It's so, I don't know. It's just very spooky. And I love it.
It's very chef's kiss.
It's very chef's kiss. Love it. But anyway, now that I've confused everyone about my,
including me.
yes, about my three, Jessica, what are yours?
Thank you
First
for
impression,
asking.
favorite scene, and favorite.
So remember how I doubted you about not like I was like, no way you remember the first time you watched
Right.
it. So fun fact, I also remember the first time I watched it.
Oh my God. Now you calling me a liar.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
you're a liar.
What?
Oh? Okay.
No, I do remember watching this for the first time. I don't remember specific year, but I remember where and with who. And can you guess? My sister.
Okay. A sister tends to be there for every movie.
Right. Shout out.
As she should be.
Yeah, I remember watching it. It was also night. It was dark. And listen, if you know me, I tend to be a fangirl. It's kind of embarrassing because my coworkers kind of know me as a fangirl now. Like, it's so awkward. It's so bad. But
Yeah.
anyway, and I love to write. So maybe I kind of felt a sort of connection with Miss Annie. But not in like a psychotic way. You know what I mean? Like, I would never do that. I mean, you know.
I feel like you would.
Well,
Maybe not go as far as breaking legs,
oh, I would never do that.
but I feel like everything else.
Right. Right. Yeah. No. So, but anyway, first impression, she a crazy bitch. Love her.
Cray cray.
I mean, she's
Yes.
crazy,
Yes.
but Paul, like James's acting.
In this
this
is so,
movie?
like I honestly couldn't understand it. Like, it's good. I like the way that he acted in this movie, but I couldn't tell like if I honestly felt bad for him or not. Does that make sense?
No, I feel like what the writing did really well or whatever is making us feel some sort of sympathy for Annie and not so much for Paul.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I feel
But,
like that
I don't
is
know if that's
actually what I
just
get.
me being
No, absolutely, because the scene that we get of her where, and this is the scene that I think really kind of digs into like the emotional part for people to kind of show that Annie deep down is just like really troubled and like broken, is she says that the rain gives her the blues. And then she's like, I love you and don't tell me that you love me back, basically, because I know you don't love me. So sad. And then she basically says, like, people like you don't love people like me or something like that. You know, she's giving this, like, very deep and broken story. So sad, so depressing, but it's so, like, emotional.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
But then you have
Girl.
to snap back to reality and remember that she's psycho
Yeah.
and that she
yeah.
broke this man's leg.
Yeah, very true. Very true. But it's true. And that's why I felt like I didn't know if I should feel bad for Paul or not. Because like
Yeah.
even though he's one of the main characters, I feel like Annie is actually main character and Paul's like the
Just
like
the-
right behind her.
Yeah.
And he's I don't know. I completely agree. I completely agree. Okay.
Anyway, that was my first impression. Favorite scene. I like the car crash scene.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just part of my trauma
Oh, that's
of being like, oh my
right.
god, fun. You know what I mean? No, but overall, I love me a good action scene anywhere in any horror movie,
Yes.
action thriller movie.
Yes.
I just like seeing destruction
Yes.
as much as it gives me a lot of anxiety. I think it's just the masochist in me.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Alright.
But yeah, I really like the car crash scene. And
It's a good one.
I was going to talk about this during like our discussion of the movie. And I know you mentioned this too, but this bitch is strong.
Bro.
Because what do you mean?
What does she lift at the gym? Because what do you mean she
Hey,
crowbarred?
she was preparing.
Oh, that's actually true.
She was lifting
she
200
was at
pounds.
The gym. She was at Planet Fitness every day, just
Yeah.
fucking lifting weights.
Yeah,
She's
she
like,
was
I just
preparing.
know how much this man weighs.
Yeah,
250.
she would know.
350. Absolutely,
She would know.
She like drops all those facts to the
Yeah.
sheriff. He's like, okay, bitch, not that
Yeah.
information.
But yeah, like, and in the snow,
Oh,
and this is
girl.
like a 200-pound man, like
Yup.
plus maybe.
Yep, and he's dead weight,
He's dead weight.
dead ass.
Damn. Anyway,
I agree.
my favorite scare,
Yes.
may just perhaps be the same one.
Okay.
As yours.
I mean, to be fair, so listen, I chose that one because it does creep me out and I love the setting of it. But I'm gonna be honest, any scene where she's yelling at him, scary.
I'm like, kind of triggering.
Oh my gosh, I literally wrote that. I literally wrote that in part of the script. Every time she yelled, I was triggered.
I was like, Mom, I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry. Please don't yell at me. It gave me so much anxiety watching her go off on him.
Yeah.
So anxiety driven.
No,
I think this is more about us than it is about
Oh,
the film.
100%. It's just our generational trauma.
Absolutely.
Peeking through. But yeah, no, my favorite scare gotta be that one. The
It's
you
so
dirty
good.
bird. And she just like hits, or she throws like the planter, I think that's what they're called,
Mhm.
right?
She just like chunks it.
To the wall.
Mm-hmm.
It's really creepy. But I will say, well, actually, this isn't a scare. I guess this one can kind of go for my other favorite scene. But my other favorite scene, I guess, is when they're kind of having a brawl.
But like towards the end, where
yeah,
they're
and
literally
Paul
fighting
is
each other.
in the wheelchair. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I just love the end where he pushes Annie down, and she just
Oh,
the-
she just gives up.
I think it's very symbolic.
Oh, wait, which part? Like the whole part?
No.
Because he knocks her out, and that's what kills her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where she like falls onto the I think it's the typewriter where she kind of cracks her head.
Is that what he uses to knock her out? I don't remember. I don't remember what he used, TBH.
I think he pushed her down and she fell onto, well, because he hit her, he threw the typewriter at her or hit her
Yes,
with it.
he did. He said, "Don't."
And then finally
Maybe
what
grab,
kills
like-
her, I think, is what he pushes her and she falls onto it.
No, he like smacks her.
Really?
Yeah, he
Oh.
like smacks her with something super fucking hard, and then she's like,
Oh.
and then she just like falls on him. But I will say what is symbolic is when he's literally feeding or shoving down the script down her throat, and he's like, "You sick fuck." It's so good. So good.
It reminds me, now that
It
I
reminds me of back in the day.
back in the day. No, there's another movie. John Travolta is in it with, oh my God.
Grease.
No.
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 Look Who's Talking.
Huh?
Look Who's Talking. You ever seen that movie?
No.
Wait, that is John Travolta, right? Okay, yeah. That's a good movie. It's cute. It's cute. I love that movie.
I think it's called, no.
Hairspray.
It's about John Travolta plays a psycho fan. Anyway,
What's that one?
Huh? Oh, Saturday
Saturday
Night
Night Fever.
Yeah, Fever, whatever.
Not that one.
No.
That's all the John Travolta
No,
movies
it's
I know.
literally.
Oh, Pulp Fiction. But that's all I got.
No. Give me 4 seconds. I'm gonna find it.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Found it.
Ah,
The Fanatic.
Never seen it.
It is.
Don't think I've seen it.
He plays a psycho Stan named Moose in Fred Durst. Do you know who Fred Durst is?
I do not.
You know
I do.
Limp Bizkit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know that one. Yes, I do.
Anyway, it's called The Fanatic.
Nice.
And I haven't watched it, but guess who has? My sister.
Yes.
Because I don't remember who plays the celebrity that he's obsessed with, but I'm pretty
Mhm.
sure it's someone that I know.
That's so scary. That's terrifying.
It is really scary. So
I
whenever
love-
we become famous, we need to be really careful.
Very careful.
Very careful.
Do bodyguards
Yeah.
around us 24/7.
It's just gonna be Julie. Julie's gonna be our
She's
bodyguard.
gonna buff up. That's
Anyway.
so funny.
But
But I agree.
yeah.
That scene is a little spooky
Yeah.
where they're brawling. But that Dirty Bird scene is so good.
It's iconic.
It's so good.
You dirty bird. I'm gonna start saying that now.
They're gonna be like, what type of fucking
Insult is that?
He'll be like, oh, trust me. If you've seen the movie, you would know.
You dirty bird. How could you? She can't be dead. Misery Chastain cannot be dead.
Period.
That's so crazy
Me
that we were
too.
just talking about that scene and it just happens to
It just
pop up.
happens to
Yeah.
play. Look, she's psycho. Nothing can help that woman other than
An immense amount of
psycho
Therapy.
Yeah, like psycho evaluations and therapy, right?
She needs some grippy socks.
But listen, I understand.
Oh.
I kind of understand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if I were to speak to the writer of, I don't know. Actually, I really don't know because I'm trying to think of like a movie or a show where someone just gets killed off.
You know, fun fact about me, I'm not a huge
case you wanted
fantasy.
to
I'm not
know.
a huge fantasy or reader.
Mm.
So most of the books that I read, people don't die
Okay.
because I'm an Emily Henry type of girl.
Are
Yeah.
people don't die in those?
I mean,
Interesting.
I mean, like parents of characters,
oh, that's right.
like Beach Read. I think. I don't remember.
The only no, I was gonna mention one, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna closet that one forever. So I'm
Oh.
gonna just keep that one to myself.
right.
Anyway, let's go ahead and just dissect the movie just a little bit more. So we talked about a few things already that we were like, the fact that she's strong, the fact that she went to Planet Fitness every day and literally bulked up specifically for this moment, which I'm now starting to think if we should start doing that.
Hey, and I was gonna say, like, we should
Mhm.
start doing that. that's all. I'm
Yeah,
gonna-
okay.
Let me keep my mouth shut.
It's just like never mind.
Never mind.
Oh, never mind. I thought you were gonna mention about a certain convention coming up.
I mean, maybe it was in my mind. How much does he weigh? I think
Which
for-
one?
All of them. All of them.
Anyway, but something that I really do like. So another scene of mine that I was going to choose that was my favorite is actually just the entire opening scene.
Mm-hmm.
I love the setting that we get, like as soon as the movie starts, which is just him typing away inside of a cabin where there's like a shit ton of snow outside. And then as soon as he finishes his book, he lights him a cigarette, he pours some champagne, and he chilling. And then, we get him coming outside and like, having fun in the snow before he goes off and almost dies in the blizzard. But overall,
it's
overall
aesthetically
setting-
pleasing.
and it's so comforting. I can't explain it.
It's
but
vibes. It's giving vibes. It's giving aesthetic.
Yes.
It's giving cozy, warm, fall. I guess winter.
Absolutely.
Want to be specific?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I love it. It's enjoyable.
You know what else is enjoyable? Miss Misery.
I wouldn't know. I never read the book.
No, the pig
Oh, Queen.
queen.
Queen 8. She did so good. I'm sure that she was the
And
one
then
that
I'm
got
sure
paid
she
the
was
most.
8.
Oh. That's sad.
I'm just
To
kidding,
think
y'all.
about.
I'm
But,
just-
but it was the 1990s, so probably.
no, I'm pretty sure she got paid a lot.
You think she got paid the most?
I hope so.
I think she got paid more than both.
I think out of the 3,
She did phenomenal.
Rent was due.
She needs to be on Broadway.
She sure do.
Mm-hmm.
Broadway, Hollywood, Bollywood, Mexican wood,
Mexican
like,
wood.
you know,
All the novelas and everything.
all the novelas.
She did great. No, I agree. Mr. Sheldon dropped the word misery business just casually. And I heard Paramore in the background.
100%.
100%. Like, I think Alexa started playing that song. Just out of nowhere. I'm in the business of misery. Let's take it from the top. She's got a body like an hourglass. It's ticking like a clock. Like, if that is not the anthem to his
this
book,
Yeah.
like, what are you doing? You know? Yeah, but as soon as I heard him just drop that line,
I just
very
immediately
easily.
pictured like redhead.
yeah, like literally the
Yeah.
opening to the Misery Business music video. It was
Love
great.
it.
I loved
Love
it so much.
I will say one thing.
Yes, just one.
Her outfits.
Yo, they slayed. I
8.
think I'm gonna be Annie Wilkes for
100%.
Halloween.
Yeah. Let's do that.
So I haven't actually been able to do Halloween the way that I would normally like to celebrate because I've gone to Halloween Horror Nights the past 2 years. I don't think Halloween Horror Nights is in the cards for this fall. However, I don't know. I need to see the lineup by the summer.
Oh, same.
You know what I mean? Like, I need to see
100%.
what they're going to confirm.
Yeah. My sister was already asking me. She was like, "We're going." I was like, "I don't even know.
I don't even know what the lineup is, bro.
I don't even know if I'm going to be alive by then."
That's true. That too. But anyway, it's so far looking like we're not going to go. So I now have the opportunity to go all out for Halloween and like actually start ahead of time with like my costume, where I'm gonna be, who's gonna see my fit, you know, all that good stuff. And Annie Wilkes is looking like a really good Halloween
You know what you should do?
idea.
You know what you should do is dress as her
Mm-hmm.
and carry around. You know how Spirit Halloween got them fake legs?
You are so right.
Just carry around
You are
a
so
leg,
smart.
and the people who know
Will
will
know.
know.
Yep, absolutely. I agree. I'm even willing to cut my hair the way that she has it. Okay, but you're right. Maybe I'll just buy a wig.
All right.
But yeah.
Okay.
You know what? I don't know why this just popped into my head. But tell me I'm wrong. Don't, because I will cry. Annie Wilkes ran so Pearl could walk.
You're so right.
Right?
Well,
I don't know. They're both pretty psychotic.
but if you think about it, Pearl came before
Oh, when was she? Like 1920s?
20 something.
That's crazy. Yeah, but we didn't have the pro movie back then. You know, like if all goes, like maybe acting wise,
Yeah.
they both did phenomenal. I'm obsessed with both of them. But I really
If there were to be a remake, which it's not necessary,
not necessary. Please
It's
don't remake
not
this movie. This
necessary.
movie is so good as it is.
I will kill myself.
Same. I will write
If
that.
it's-
I will write that in my suicide note.
It will be my. It will
Absolutely.
be in my death
It is
note.
because there was a Misery remake.
But if there in another alternate universe were to be
Mm-hmm.
one, 100% Mia Goth.
See, and this is where I agree.
To disagree.
Yes, because I love the thought of Mia Goth taking on Annie Wilkes as a character, but I don't think she's strong enough. You know,
Unless we get someone even small. Tom Holland.
to
Tom
play
Holland.
Tom Shelton.
Tommy.
Paul
Wait,
Shelton.
Thomas. Wait, what's his Cillian Murphy's character name in Peaky Blinders? Fine as hell.
Oh my God,
Tommy
Shelby.
Shelby.
Tommy
Shelby? No, Thomas Shelby.
Thomas Shelby. That sounds about right.
Something like that.
no.
I
Peaky fucking blinders.
yeah.
Anyway, that was bad. Okay. Moving circling back to the actual movie. You know what I am obsessed with? So the horror genre already provides so much comfort to me. You know, I already find it so exciting. It's like my go-to. But you know what makes a horror movie just like what the icing is on top of the cake?
What?
A good thunderstorm
Oh,
in a horror movie. Every slasher, paranormal movies, thrillers.
I ate that shit up.
Oh, girl. The minute I hear
Because it's like you can't.
it hits, it clicks.
So here's the thing. I was gonna say you can't have a horror movie without thunder. That's a lie. That's a lie. Personally, because if you think about it, almost most of the horror movies that I can think of right now
Yeah.
don't have any good horror movies. Don't have a lot of rain or thunder. Like
Okay.
Halloween, the OG one. I can't think of any rain or thunder.
I don't think it has any rain.
Insidious, one of my favorites.
Doesn't have any rain.
Yeah, at least not in the first one that I can remember.
I don't even think The Conjuring, the first movie, has a good rain scene.
I was gonna say The Conjuring has from like the whole universe.
Oh yeah, they have a few.
It's gotta have
Annabelle, the one that we got in 2014, that one
The
has
first Conjuring. Yes, you're so right. The first Conjuring
yeah.
definitely has. I don't know where I was going with that, but
anyway,
yeah.
but that's what I mean. Like a good thunderstorm, rain, heavy rain type of scene in a horror movie. Oh, there's just something about it that just like
It's just so cozy.
I eat that shit up. It's so good. It's so delicious. And the only really good example that I can think of is The Ring, the opening scene, how it's like pouring down rain. And the same goes for Freddy versus Jason. There is a pouring, like, thundering scene when all the slashers happen. Jason goes to the house. It's fun. It's a fun time. Let's see. I think that's all I got. I don't think I have anything else. I'm out of ideas and scenes of this movie. I overall just think this movie is phenomenal.
I agree.
I agree too.
It's giving. Wow, it's really silent. It's giving.
Speak, girl. Go piss, girl.
Go piss, girl. What's that? Man, I'm terrible at movie names.
Okay.
Ruby Sparks. Ruby Sparks, Paul Dano, and his beautiful wife.
Of course
I feel
you-
terrible not remembering her name.
Of course you would know.
She's beautiful.
Out of all the
Amazing. It's giving Ruby Sparks turned horror. Not really,
Ooh.
but in a way. Like if
Okay.
you've seen the movie, you'll know. Ish.
Interesting.
Anyway,
Okay. I like that idea.
that's all I've got.
Same.
Annie, what is it?
The rain. Sometimes it gives me the blues.
That is so sad. Like, it gives me the blues too, but for me, the blues are comforting. So maybe that's why I don't mind the rain so much.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
I enjoy it. In fact, I listen to thunder noises.
Oh, same. I have to listen to that when I fall asleep.
Yeah.
I have Alexa play it.
It's so,
There's
like it's
just
really
something about it.
good. Yeah.
I love it.
Anyway, now to get into the cast. Love this cast.
Cast was great.
Great cast.
Yeah.
Got to start off with James Caan, right?
Is it Con?
Or
Caan.
I think it's Caan,
Can?
but I also
Caan.
could be wrong. That rhymed. I'm so sorry. R.I.P. That hurt me. It hurt me when he died.
When?
It's not funny, but yes, he
When
died.
did he die?
Girl, he died like
He left us?
yes.
When?
He died 2022 at the age of 82.
2022 took a lot of people.
Sure did.
2022 and
Bro,
2021.
2023. Bro, every year. It's
A
just
good amount of celebrities die.
it's-
I actually did not know that he died.
I am so sorry to be the bearer of bad news.
Wow.
I'm
Wow.
so sorry.
I could have gone this entire episode not knowing that.
Well,
You just had to bring it up.
I mean, I wanted to give it in memoriam, which I'm pretty sure like 2 other people from the cast have also passed.
I'm sure
But
too. James Caan died.
Yeah. I remember, I mean, I of course know this man from Elf.
He
Iconic.
plays such a good, like, terrible dude.
He does play such a good terrible dude.
Yeah.
He does.
I don't know what that says about his character, like in real life, but
I'm sure
he does really
I'm
good.
sure he was a sweetheart. So R.I.P. Mr. Khan or Can. I'm so sorry. Who played Paul Sheldon?
Yeah.
We've got the Queen, Kathy Bates.
Oh, I love her.
Who plays Annie Wilkes?
Love her. She's queen.
And might as well just go ahead and mention the fact.
Snaps. I love her.
Kathy Bates was actually the first woman to win an Oscar for Best Female Actress in a horror or thriller movie.
There were other actors, I think, who won this specific, like, Oscar for this specific, like, what is it called? Like, theme award?
I'm on her thing right now. Okay, I don't know if I'm on her thing right now, and she, from what I can see, again, I don't know if this is real. Oh, yes, she won her first Emmy Award for Outstanding Guest Actress. Oh, that's comedy series. My bad. She either won or she was nominated for Academy Award for Best Actress in a Lead for Misery.
Ugh.
And Golden Globe Award for Best Actress for Misery.
I love her. She did so good in this movie. I think this might have been the movie that put her on the map.
You think so?
I think. Don't quote me on that because I honestly do not know much of her life before this. This came out in 1990.
1991.
Mm-hmm.
When was Annie?
Girl, that was like 2007.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. I think like 2006, 2005, something like that. It was like in the early 2000s. I don't know. I just love Kathy Bates. Almost in everything that she's in. Like, she just be eating her shit up.
Oh.
She's so good.
Wait.
She's also in American Horror Story.
She is.
Love her in almost every season that she's in.
Oh
I
my
say
God.
almost
Guys, I'm terrible. I was confusing her with someone else.
Don't you dare say someone like, what's her name? McCarthy?
Melissa McCarthy. Girl,
Melissa
no.
McCarthy.
I would never do that.
Good.
She was in Titanic.
She sure was. I forgot.
I haven't watched that movie in a million years because my brother made me watch it.
She was in Titanic. And when did Titanic come out?
97.
97? Either way.
Oh my gosh, she was in the B movie.
Shut the fuck up.
She was in the B movie.
Was she a B? It's just like beats me. I don't know.
Oh my gosh, she was on Charlotte's Web.
What?
So that wasn't her first time working
Did
with.
she play the pig? That would have been so funny.
I don't know.
Like Misery?
That would have been really funny.
That's so good. No, Kathy Bates has an amazing like filmography. If that makes, is that the word, or cinematography? I don't know what the word is, but because I know for musicians it's discography, but or unless it's the same thing. But
hold on, what is this that I'm reading? Education
connection. Oh my bad. I was thinking about
connected for free. Education connection. Anyway, it says education. She got a BFA at Southern Methodist University. Right down the road. Right down the road.
She one of us.
Oh, so she got money.
I mean, she is Kathy Bates.
Oh, she is Kathy Bates.
That's true. Yeah. That is so interesting.
Well, she went to.
I think I can dedicate a whole episode to Kathy Bates. I just love her.
Saying that Kathy Bates went to your university.
If there is something controversial about Kathy Bates, please don't tell me.
Don't tell me.
I actually want to live in bliss in this one.
Yeah.
Or live in not denial. Live in, what is it called when you don't? No, ignorance is bliss in some cases. This one is that one for me.
Yeah.
Don't ruin Kathy Bates for me.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, continuing on with the cast, we've got Richard Farnsworth as Buster.
He played the best sheriff.
He sure did.
He ate that roll up too.
Honestly, and I'm probably first and last time I'll ever say this, but any white man with a white mustache, or just in general from the either from the 70s to the 90s, who played a sheriff or like some sort of,
and that's so funny because it's such a generic like type of look, but they just eat. They all had it and they all did so good.
They just eat. And
like, what did they put in the water back then?
Handsomeness.
Okay, I agree.
Right. Anyway, we've got Frances Sternhagen as Virginia.
His wife It's so funny. They're so cute.
Lauren Bacall as Marcia Sindel.
The agent
Yeah.
who played the IG. I was unfortunately not able to find Misery's character, which makes me only think one thing.
That she just decided to live remotely. The fame got to her head.
It did.
And
I think she unfortunately went through the path of drugs.
yeah. And I
just
hope
think it
she's
wasn't
doing
worth it.
well right now.
That was 19 now. Actually, I'm gonna be honest. I don't really know too much about.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how long do they live? I mean, I've seen one or two at work, but they didn't. They didn't.
I'm gonna be honest.
They were TTJ, if you know what I mean.
TBHIDK. Okay. Anyway, like Kathy Bates' fact was the only one that we had, so don't ask us for more.
Don't.
Okay.
I mean, we could have. We could always give you like false.
We can always go on Wikipedia and look up every fact that they have.
Very fun fact, super random, and now that you bring it up,
Okay.
I am in a class that I thought was going to be not solely about Jane Austen, but about like Gothic literature.
Jane Austen.
Tell me why our professor, I love my professor, but my professor is making us edit Wikipedia pages. So isn't that so random?
Why?
I don't know.
To what?
I don't even remember being it in the description of the class.
You're like, I did not see this in the syllabus.
Yeah. But anyway, that was a fun little fact.
I mean, anyone can edit Wikipedia, and
Right.
if college students are doing it,
Yeah, valió.
okay.
Anyway, fun little fact about me.
Love.
But yeah. Now let's keep it rolling.
Keep it going. Rolling in the river.
Anyway.
rolling.
All right. I think it's time to play a little game
I love games.
that we like to call Would You Rather? Yeah. So, for this Would You Rather, hear me out. You might get lost. Because this is a pretty lengthy Would You Rather.
Not really.
Just
Okay.
hear me out.
All right.
Jeez. Would you rather be saved by a psychotic fan and,
In this case, you're a celebrity.
and in this case, you are famous, like Monica and I.
Yeah.
Or would you rather kidnap your favorite celebrity?
Or, would you rather be Paul Sheldon or would you rather be Annie Wilkes?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Well, here's the thing. But you need to hear me out.
Okay.
Hear me out, okay?
Mm.
If realistically, well, I don't even know actually where I'm going with this. I feel like everyone expects me to say, like, I'd rather kidnap my favorite celebrity, which
Hee hee ha ha.
hee hee ha ha
Yeah.
would never happen. Wink wink. I don't know. Like, I have a question for you, Monica. Do you think you would get Stockholm syndrome?
Oh. Mm. If I was a celebrity and I was kidnapped by a fan, would I get Stockholm syndrome? Sherlock Holmes syndrome? Maybe? I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty easy to
Manipulate?
Yeah.
Same. But I also like to think that, like, my brain is pretty strong enough to be like, no.
Well, if you're easy to manipulate,
That's
then no,
true.
you're not.
I know. I don't know.
So here's the case. So the way I see it, would I rather be a celebrity or would I rather be in the presence of a celebrity?
Same.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think in this case, I think I would rather be kidnapped. Because, and let me explain my thought process a little bit. So if I get kidnapped, it means I'm a celebrity, right? Which means there's eyes on me all the time, which is definitely can be a bad thing due to privacy reasons, but also they're going to find me a lot faster.
That's what
because
you think.
unfortunately, when you're famous, and the internet is crazy, they will find you if they love you that much.
Oh,
And I'm
God
thinking I'm as
forbid.
famous as like I don't know, Taylor Swift or some shit. Like, I have a fan base that will like literally kill other people for talking shit
No,
about me.
you know who I was literally just thinking of? Any K-pop idol.
Oh,
idol.
100%.
That like
One hundo.
they are going to be found within a second.
One hundo. And that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if I'm that famous, yeah, you can kidnap me for a little bit.
God forbid we're B-list celebrities. We ain't
No,
being
no, no.
found.
No, in this scenario, we're A-listers.
Have to be A-listers.
We're A-listers for sure.
Yeah.
There ain't no way we're going to be on
Yeah.
the B-list. Okay. However, because if I were to choose to be in the presence of a celebrity, I can only imagine the prison charges I would go through once
That's
they find me.
true.
Or I die. Which in this case...
Okay, but here's the thing. Question.
Mhm.
Like, when we say kidnap our favorite celebrity or something like
what
that.
do we like? What do we?
What do we mean? Like full on Annie Wilkes?
Let's say the Annie,
Just like be like, oh my god, hey, like I found you like this, like
you actually nurture them.
help them. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So
See, because we are reviewing a movie like Misery, I would say we're going full Annie Wilkes minus the ankle breaking, but everything
Yeah.
else the same. So you're nurturing them back to
at
health
one point,
at one point, but then like when you try to criticize them about their movies or their music or something, you just go completely insane. And you're just like, I love you so much. But what the fuck was this? But I love you so much. But I saw you at that concert and I saw you eyeing that one bitch. You know, shit
okay,
like that.
but same.
Yeah, exactly. So like in one way you can
like,
kind of relate to Annie Wilkes.
if I were to kidnap my favorite celebrity, which I'm not gonna say who, and it's not Harry Styles.
Harry Styles.
Okay, fine. We'll use Harry Styles. But Harry Styles, if you're seeing this, just know that it's a joke. And respectfully, not necessarily my favorite celebrity right now, but
Okay.
you are 100%. Happy birthday, by the way.
Tomorrow's your
Tomorrow,
birthday.
Aquarius King. Right? Yes. 30. Sorry. Last thing about him. But yeah, no, I would 100% be like, so when are you going to break up with your girlfriend?
So when are you breaking up? Because when is it my turn?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like, can I, just for a day?
I agree.
You know what I mean?
So then you would do the kidnapping. Was that what I'm getting from
Is that
your
what
answer?
you're picking up? What I'm putting down?
Yeah, that's what I think you're putting down.
I don't want to put that down though.
So you want to be kidnapped
I want to be kidnapped
as an A-list celebrity.
In a fictional world, in our would you rather,
In our fictional would you rather world,
I'd prefer to be
kidnapped.
kidnapped.
I see what you mean. I was like, I don't see why you're not saying. I see how it sounds. I would rather be the one taken by a super fan.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. And then someone go full Liam Neeson on me, like to help get me back really fast. You know? Okay.
I want Liam Neeson to
find me.
I think
Imagine being kidnapped as a celebrity, and then the celebrity that finds you is Liam
yeah,
Neeson.
I love that. I want that. Or like, who else is, or Tom Cruise or something like.
I don't know if you just heard me, but I said Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson.
I said Liam Neeson.
Oh, Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson. All right.
Anyway, I'm getting touched to it.
All
moving on.
right.
Moving on. Those were good
Okay.
answers. That was a good one.
Good answer.
Loved.
Good answer. So we both prefer to be.
Taken by super fans.
I love that movie. Such a good movie. Anyway.
And let Liam Neeson find us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Taken. Anyway. All right. Let's go ahead and rate this movie before ending the episode. Now, this is a horror movie.
Period.
So we will have our two scales of satisfactory and scary.
Scary.
Just because a horror movie is. Just because a horror movie is good does not always mean it is scary, and
Vice
vice
versa.
versa.
Yes, ma'am.
So, Monica.
Yes, that's me.
Hi.
Hi.
What do you rate this movie?
I always have to I always write my answers down, but I always kind of, after talking about the movie, see if it changes.
It feels different.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
But in this case, I don't think it does. So for this movie, I am giving my scary scale a 7 out of 10. And that mostly comes from me being triggered and scared from every scene that she was yelling. You know what I mean? Personally, for me, it was kind of spooky. It was a little spooky. and seeing her that angry. It was very spooky.
Yeah.
And then like the scenes also where he's like fucking just walking or rolling around in her living room
Right.
trying to like make his way back
Yeah.
upstairs, and it's like a whole, I don't know, chasing scene. Very scary, but very good. Satisfactory, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. I did not have any issues. I didn't have like any, I don't know, like this is just a really good movie. There's just something about some Stephen King movies that get turned into movies that just so good.
Yeah.
This, I will say though, I will say that Misery is one of Stephen King's most loved like pieces. Like
Yeah.
everyone loves the book. I unfortunately have not read it. It is on my TBR. It's been on my TBR for the longest.
I feel like for me, when I read a book after I've watched the movie, it's kind of it's kind of weird for me. And I do this all the time. So I'm not, hating or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like I can't help but see those characters.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like that's why I always
Like,
I tried to read this before we did this episode, but it's a little lengthy. So I was like, it's the next time.
I also I watched the Harry Potter movies before reading them. And it was just so, it's so different
Yeah, it is.
versus reading it first and then watching the movie. Like when I read Everything, Everything, and then I watched the movie, I was like, well,
Oh
you know
yeah.
what I mean? Like,
Yeah, 100%.
it's crazy.
No, it makes sense. But in this case and scenario, we watched the movie first. And if we get around to reading the book, then that's great. But I am excited to kind of see what the difference is because I genuinely really love this movie.
Yeah.
Like it was really good for me. I would recommend for people to watch this movie. It's so good. So good. Immaculate acting, crazy psycho thriller, Kathy Bates. So, super great. What about you? What are you rating this movie?
Scary. I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
Nothing super crazy.
It's just very suspenseful.
It's very suspenseful.
suspenseful.
Thriller. Would you consider it like psychological?
I would.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, you're not really guessing the entire time. Like, it's not really fucking with your head that much.
Yeah.
I would say maybe suspense, thriller, horror.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wouldn't do really psychological.
I wouldn't either. And I think that's why I enjoyed it.
It's true. Because you kind of know what's happening the
yeah.
whole time, yeah.
But yeah, no, she's scary. Very scary.
Very scary.
Triggering
Yes.
for any person who grew up with a Mexican mother. Satisfactory.
Oh.
9.5 out of 10.
Love.
Again, no real big complaints.
Yeah.
It's just like a vibe thing.
Okay.
I love
Your
the movie.
0.5.
My
It's a
0.5. It's a vibe
thing.
thing. I love the movie.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
Love.
It's a great movie. I will watch it every cold winter. Does it take place during Christmas time? Like December?
I think it does. Now, if you watch the trailer, it advertises it with like Christmas music and things, and I think it takes around like December, Christmas time.
Yeah. But I mean, overall, I feel like you can watch it, and it's like
Yeah,
a
it's
pretty
super
good wintry. You know what's amazing is we wanted to do this movie right now because it's like winter and all of that good stuff, and it's crisp 80 degrees outside in Dallas.
Oh my god,
now.
it is! It's a crisp 80
Like,
with some wind.
I was, ready. I was with my little leggings, my North Face on today.
You
just
go
to be
out there and you're
sweating.
like, I'm gonna take this off
Mhm.
immediately.
Mhm.
That makes sense.
But yeah,
Love.
that's me.
All right.
All right. Well, I think this concludes this episode on Misery.
Such a good
1990.
Such a good
One.
movie.
90?
Also, such a good time. I thought it was 90. Is it 91? I don't know.
I don't know.
Me either.
I think it's 90.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway. As always, if today's episode intrigued you and you haven't watched this movie and would like to, you can watch it by buying only on
Yep.
almost every streaming platform.
Yeah,
for
I don't-
$14.99.
Yeah, it's a little more expensive. I don't know why. I could have sworn. Okay, to be fair, Misery was on Netflix for the longest time, but it's not on there anymore. And almost every platform that you can think of streaming it on, it doesn't let you rent it. I think it's because of how old the movie is, but it doesn't let you rent it. It only lets you buy it.
Wow,
Don't understand.
that's crazy.
Don't get it. But yeah,
That's crazy. Anyway,
But-
but you can buy it on Amazon Prime, Vudu, YouTube, Apple TV, and Google Movies.
yup.
Anyway, thank you guys for joining us on this episode of Scream City. We appreciate you guys taking the time to listen and be a part of our horror community.
Period.
And of course, for just
Just hanging out.
hanging out with us and like messaging us. We love. We mention this all the time, but we do appreciate all the messages.
Yes, they're super fun to interact with you guys.
And y'all's support truly means the world to us. Like it's just so crazy seeing like the numbers gradually go up.
It's
on
great.
Instagram, TikTok.
We're now like at what, 9:30 on Insta?
9:30 on Insta.
Feels great.
Let's shoot for 2,000 this year.
By the end of 2024.
Right. Yeah. And
I love that.
if you enjoy this episode, please consider leaving a review or sharing it with your friends and family.
Yes, please.
Or any other person that you know and that likes the horror community.
Or doesn't.
Or doesn't.
Yeah.
Like force
We're
them.
just a good time.
Yeah. And if you want to keep up with us, we will have our social media in the summary description.
Yes, we seriously cannot thank you enough for the support. It feels really great to slowly be growing our community. But with that being said, if you liked today's episode and you would like to see what we are going to cover next episode, well, let me tell you. For next episode, we are going to be talking about another chilly movie that also takes place in like snow winter wonderland, even
Hopefully
though it is
it's-
90 degrees
I was
here.
going to say, hopefully it's not
Hopefully it's
another
not, but we'll
80
see.
degrees next
Yeah.
week. Yeah.
But we're going to be covering Frozen from 2010. And no, it's not the
Let it go.
let it go. Can't hold it back. It's not the Disney movie with Elsa and Anna on this. I don't know. That movie's pretty scary. A talking snowman? It's like Jack Frost. That movie's
Jack
pretty-
Frost was actually terrifying.
Jack Frost is fucking scary,
It's
and I feel like
so
this
terrifying.
I feel like Frozen, the Disney, is kind of like that. I feel
But
like you can
Olaf
kind of
is
put it.
so cute though.
Yeah, but like, what if he ate people? Like Loki.
Okay, but it's a Disney movie.
So, anyway, that's not the one we're covering.
Okay.
We're covering Frozen from 2010. When did Frozen, the Disney movie, come out?
2000. I remember, kid you not,
Like 2014?
I had
2013?
I had surgery when it came. I had surgery the year that it came out. And I remember watching it in the hospital room.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, well.
But I don't know much about the plot, and I kind of don't want to. Like, I'm okay with going into this movie blind because I've never seen it, actually.
You've never seen
No,
it?
I've never seen it.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
We were just talking about this when we were.
Okay, well,
Anyway.
that was a week ago.
Okay. Yes, I've never seen it. I'm excited.
Oh my God.
I'm looking forward to
I
it.
can't wait.
All I
See what
know
you-
is that it's. Are they like students or just a group of friends or like?
That's
I
I
don't
don't
know.
I haven't watched it in a second, but I
Okay.
do remember watching it religiously when I was younger.
So you
I
don't
think
know
that's probably
either.
why I'm traumatized.
Okay. It's like a group of people, whether they're friends, students, whatever they are. They go on to like a ski trip, and then they go on to the monorail
The
or whatever
little ski
the sky
ramp.
scraper.
Did you say skyscraper?
Yeah. They go into the zip line
But y'all know what we
monorail
mean.
thing.
Y'all know what we
And
mean.
they get stuck in the middle of like -20 degrees up in the air. And isn't it like closed for the weekend or something? So they're stuck
Yeah.
up there for a minute.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
so excited to see what you
I'm
think.
really excited to see it. I am looking forward to, I don't know, just being surprised
Yeah.
and just kind of seeing what the
I think
what
you're
the
gonna
plot
be
is about.
surprised.
I'm excited. I'm excited. So that's what we will be talking about next
Love
weekend.
that. Well,
So-
before we end this episode, Monica, I have a question.
Yes.
And
And
like
it is-
answer like
Like super truthfully.
super truthfully.
Okay. Yes, it is true. I sleep with socks on.
I do too.
Uh huh. I was lying.
Oh, okay. Weirdo.
Not being truthful.
Okay. Anyway, my question for you is, what's this week's movie? A movie.
Let me kind of digest this question a little bit. Yes, it was.
Okay,
Yes.
all right.
I believe that this week's movie, I honestly thought it was a movie because imagine being
No,
kidnapped.
it is a movie.
It's a pretty
It's
good
a
movie.
movie.
It's a movie, girl. Like double capital O. Movie.
Wait. Wait. Okay.
You're like,
All
wait, let
right.
me picture that really fast.
All right. Yeah.
That sounds great.
Perfect. Well, I agree. This movie was definitely a movie.
Agreed.
Well, there you guys have it. Thanks again. We will talk to you guys next week. And as always, we've been your hosts, Jess
And Monica,
Stay safe and stay spooky.
And don't even think about anybody coming for you. Not the doctors, not your agent, not your family. Because I never called them. Nobody knows you're here. And you better hope nothing happens to me. Because if I die, you die.
Oof, that was scary. I can't wait to come back next week.